Yeah, I think it's crazy. All right, there's more though.
There's a lot more.
There's more.
You got to ask yourself, you got to recommit to this game. Just like you sign a new contract, every time you get better as a player, I truly feel that you got to recommit and sign that contract with yourself every so often. Like, all right, yeah, I'm 10, 12 years in, I got 4 MVPs and 4 championships. Like, but do I still want to do this shit? You know what I'm saying?
You know how hard it is.
Some people say, I want to go play baseball.
Right?
Yeah. And then I want to come back. Well, some people say, I'm going to go 22 straight. And you know what I'm saying? So it's a contract I feel like you got to have with yourself, too, in order for you to be a great ball player or to have a long career. That's the goal, to be in the league for 20 years. I tell you, that's the goal. However you want to get there, but you got to recommit to yourself before you commit to anything else.
In the shop.
So he said that's the goal. Play 20 years, right? That's the goal. And now we're questioning if Michael Jordan was as committed because he didn't play 20 years. I know Kevin Durant don't believe that, but since he's in Rome, he has to do as the Romans do. So he's on game to mind. So he's got to go with the agenda of what LeBron is already built momentum going toward. So he just followed suit and said some clown stuff. And we know how he feel about Kobe and Mike. He set them apart and said nobody's even close. They're head and shoulders above everybody. But I'm at my brother's podcast, so I had to talk like I'm clutch. But that's your boy. Why he do that?
That is my boy. That is my boy. And I'm actually pretty.
You gotta explain.
I'm actually pretty disappointed. That's low business, man. And for somebody who, for the majority of his career, has just been what you want a prototypical basketball player to be. Somebody who just loves the game of basketball. Somebody who just wakes up, eats, breathes, and sleeps basketball, right? And you get regarded as one of the greatest scorers of all time. Like that's common. That's a common debate. He's one of the greatest scorers of all time. What is, first off, saying that the goal is to play 20 years? Whose goal is that? The goal is to win. The goal is to win championships. Etch your name in history. The goal was never to play 20 years. Mike did what he needed to do in 15. And honestly, we could say what? 13, because 2 of those was injury years. So he did what he needed to do in 13 to 15 years. 6 rings, 6 MVPs. You know what I'm saying? And got on. When he realized, I got what I came here for. At that point, you're cheating the game, right? We're watching LeBron actively cheat the game. You want to say Kobe went 20 years? Okay, cool. But Kobe was still playing at a high level until probably the last 4 or 5 years when the body toll started really taking effect. And then it was just out of loyalty to the organization at that point, right? But it was still one team, right? We're watching LeBron 4 different teams or four different stints with 3 different teams. 23, this is gonna be his 23rd season, right? Chasing all these different accolades because he knows that he'll probably never get another ring to even match Kobe or Magic, knowing you're not going to get 2 more to even be in the same ring conversation as Mike. So you're going to get all these other ticky-tack little things. Oh, I'm going to go get the scoring record. Oh, I'm going to get the most years played record. This, that, and third, blah, blah, blah. Cheating the game. You know what I'm saying? And one of my favorite lines from rap is when I stop having fun with it, I'm done with it. At what point do you stop having, this is not fun anymore? You know what I'm saying? And Kevin Durant is about to be his 17th season coming up. And as a Kevin Durant fan, I love it because I don't want to see his game. I don't want to see his game leave yet. That's my favorite player. But at the same time, you're doing the same thing. You're starting to cheat the game. And I understand that your love for basketball is probably goes further than anybody else in the league currently. But at what point do you know that you're just, like Dom likes to say, stealing money?
All right. So the natural progression of a superstar especially that's on that level. Like I can't stand. It's almost like a gladiator. If I can't whoop everybody no more, I'm not about to be out there on one leg. Just you get what I'm saying? Like you got to leave with some type of dignity, right? So, you know, you said your favorite saying is if I know
with it, I'm done with it.
I'm done with it. My favorite one is you got to shit or get off the pot. And LeBron ain't shitting no more, right? So there's two ways you can get off the pot. You can stop taking top dollar and naturally flow into your background. I'm here to support. I'm doing what Iguodala did with Golden State. I'm doing what David West did with Golden State. They don't win those championships if they don't have veterans that have been number ones and number twos before, who could still force their way on some team to be a number one, but say, no, I'm going to take less money to play on a championship team off the bench so Draymond, Clay, and Steph can have their day in the sun. That's what LeBron and KD supposed to be doing. I'm taking less money. I can't do it no more as a number one, so stop giving me number one money. I fall back, I roll into the bench role, and I help a player like freaking Halliburton get a ring, or I would do that. That's what you're supposed to be doing. They can't shit no more. Get off the pot. Let somebody else do it. Let a young star do it. You old now. You longer than two, but they're sticking around for no reason.
But you know what?
Calling it longevity.
Right.
I'll say this and be real quick, and I'll let you go down. But it's partially our fault because, and I say us as the fans, as the media, it's partially our fault because we keep telling these guys that they are gods amongst men. We keep putting them on this pedestal that you are still this level of player, right? And that might be the case. You know, Kevin Durant, year 17, is still a 50, 40, 90 guy. Cool. Does that equate to any wins of importance lately? The last ring you won was in 2018. You know, LeBron, you're for the freak athlete that you are, you're still able to go in your 40s. But what has that translated into as far as wins? It hasn't. Mm-hmm. And so I think because the fans and the media, we keep saying like, oh yeah, you're still this, that, and the third. It would be a huge ego bruise for them to step back and be like, okay, you know what? Let me be the vet. Let me be the bridge guy. Let me teach this guy how to, which is why I was kind of like, maybe the deal had to be done, you know what I'm saying? But I kind of wish that Jalen Green would have stayed in Houston, because then that would have been something for Kevin Durant to be like, okay, let me teach you how to be the one. Let me help you grow into be the one. But these guys aren't doing that. LeBron is not passing the torch, which is why we see that dynamic with him and Luka not working, and it won't work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this dynamic in Houston is going to work. You know what I'm saying? They got rid of everybody who could be a one to make Kevin Durant the one. So now you're going to want this 37-year-old to be the one, and you're supposed to be competitive in the West?
Yeah, that's tough.
Go ahead, Dom.
I just think there's a few things wrong with Kevin Durant and this sit down that he had with LeBron and Steve Nash. And I think, the first thing is that, in Chris, I know like you really didn't like when I called Kevin Durant a beta, but this is just an example of why I feel that he is that person. He just doesn't, to me, do well with having his own opinions when he's in a group. And so I think that he falls into groupthink, herd mentality, mob mentality. LeBron is out here trying to push mob mentality. He's got like a cult of fans, right? That they're ready to pick up things like this right away and run with it. Mm-hmm. Kevin Durant knows that. Kevin Durant knows that. And so if you notice and I think you were disappointed because what he said, I think that there's something to that, but it's how he said it. He could have said that everybody approaches their career differently. Michael Jordan, if he couldn't give the game everything that he had every moment, he stepped away from the game. He later on goes on to say that he respected Michael Jordan taking that time off for his mental health. And to me, where he messed up, so he says that, right? But he says it negatively when he was with LeBron and on that podcast, right? He was just like, oh, some people, they take time off and go play baseball. Michael Jordan's dad died. Kwame Brown came out and blasted them, called them smart ass idiots, talked about how dare they bring up a time of retirement when, Michael Jordan retired at that time in 1993 because his father died. And so, I thought it was really in poor taste, absolutely disgusting, because you see LeBron James and Steve Nash, if you watch this interview, they're laughing. So you're laughing again about somebody retiring because their father passed away, which those are two people. I'm sorry, I have to say this, guys, and you guys might not like it, but this is the truth you need to hear. LeBron James and Kevin Durant, both of them, they don't have a dad. They don't know what that's like. They don't know what that's like to experience that feeling of pain of your father dying. Theirs just abandoned them or wasn't around. Mm-hmm. So again, like, they didn't have that father figure to teach them the class of the game that you should have. When you take a look at a Julius Erving, like, that's class personified. I'm not seeing that out of Kevin Durant and LeBron James in this moment, and it is a disgrace.
Not that moment at all.
He is a follower. I'm sorry, he followed behind Westbrook, dressing like him, looking like him when he was on OKC, shoots over to Golden State, leaves in a 3-year period of time. And I believe it was because he didn't have anybody to truly follow behind over there. They didn't love him. Like, Draymond did not give him the kind of respect that he should have as a teammate. Then leaves Golden State, goes over to Brooklyn, following behind Kyrie Irving. Just following him. And I don't think he was really prepared for what that looked like. So that relationship blew up in smoke. Then goes over to Phoenix, reinvents himself there with Booker, who's considered to be a pretty boy, starts cutting his hair again, lotioning up those ankles. Alopecia Durant, ashy ankle Durant is kind of, faded away. But I just can't believe that he had the nerve to participate in this with, LeBron James, and then go and do an about face right away. As soon as he gets by himself, when he can't take that heat, that internet heat, the Kwame Brown backlash, all of the tweets, he's going to say, oh, Mike's still the GOAT. Why didn't you qualify that statement when you were on Mind the Game with LeBron in front of Steve Nash? Why didn't you say Mike is the GOAT, but even he had to do what he had to do for himself? He had to take a step away from the game. Not everybody's perfect, But
you know what, Dom? I still don't, even if he would have been more responsible with how he said it, I still don't respect it, because you can't compare a player that got the whole league on his shoulders, who've three-peated, who've done so much about basketball, losing his father and needing to step away from the game for a mental check, right? You can't compare that with someone who didn't lose their mom or dad going and playing 20 years. The only way you can compare you playing 20 years is if you said, well, when my mom died, I kept playing. Michael Jordan had to step away. That's a comparison.
They literally, though, Mel, you would be shocked. The blind witnesses and the Bron fans, the Bron sexuals, they will go out there and say, LeBron didn't have a father. He had much worse. That's literally the narrative. I'm not kidding. He's the kid from Akron. He has no business even being LeBron James. He shouldn't be there. He doesn't even belong. LeBron has said it multiple times. And then the fans go out and repeat it, that because he didn't have a dad, he had it much worse. Michael Jordan grew up in the lap of luxury in a 2-parent home. That's the narrative, that LeBron had it so much worse. And in fact, he's a victim. So again, I think that this was disgraceful. I covered this on my own channel. I titled the thumbnail, Go Along, Get Along. Okay. And Kevin Durant, it's mob mentality, where they don't care what the consequences for pushing these narratives. They don't care if the whole basketball community is in tears, hating each other, fighting, killing over these kinds of things. This has completely divided NBA fans. Michael Jordan versus LeBron. He doesn't care. He is willing to do anything, say anything, take anybody down, anybody's family, anybody's career, anybody's contract, all in the name of this GOAT conversation and where he's going to be placed.
And MJ and the old guys, Magic, Bird, they're not doing none of that. It's all coming from
about being the greatest of all time. You want fans to say this about you, but you don't want to be part of actually.
Yeah, you ain't supposed to be part. You ain't supposed to be part of it by saying, "Oh, Michael Jordan fans are getting the best of the LeBron fans." So me as LeBron, I'm gonna step down and help. I'm gonna give y'all something to go use as ammo. I'm gonna start a podcast so I can kill all these narratives for y'all, to give y'all talking points. That is insane, dog.
Did you hear him say, we're done with the 90s? He created this, his media company. He's telling us, hey, me and Clutch Sports, my Clutch media company, I started all of this. I'm letting you guys know he's dropping these little nuggets for us right now. I don't know why people don't see this. He started We're Done with the 90s, him and Gilbert Arenas.
That's done. All right, so we got to move. Let me get to these super chats first. Taco Master said maybe KD, like LeBron, accepted that he's not getting another ring, so he's propping up longevity. DC Slim said the Jordan worship got to stop. Okay, we'll stop, DC. DC also said Jordan and LeBron are the same fake goats. I agree. Both of them are fake goats. VC, dare say MJ got his pops killed and the retirement was suspension. Yeah, I heard that too.